they feel so empty without you, because now they finally realize you were the source of their energy. You were the source of that peace, that joy, that happiness that feels like a nice warm hug. Some people have to use drugs to get that type of feeling, but they got that just from being in your presence, just from being around you, just from conversating with you, and you valued them, you love them, and you brought opportunity not only into your own life, but with others. Not only did you think about yourself when it came to elevating, but you always wanted to reach back and help others. And guess what they did? They spit in your face. Guess what they did? They talked behind your back. Guess what they did? They betrayed you, right? They felt like, oh, well, this person's put up with it time and time again. This time would be the same. This person's, allowed things to slide time and time again. This time would be different, right? Everything's just going to flow how it's usually been flowing. They ain't going to really notice nothing. Whole time, God took you on a spiritual awakening overnight. The things that they may have seen you struggle with for years were solved in a day. The blindness that they may have seen you partake in for years, right, were solved in a day. You saw everything clearly and start cutting cords like no tomorrow. And guess what? They hate that, because they never wanted to acknowledge that the energy that was thriving their lives, allowing them to waste time, spend time with their girlfriend, spend time beating their meat, wasting time, spend time drinking and smoking, spend time chasing after you or chasing after women or chasing after, another man's success, or just, they're just spending time wasting time, right? But that energy that they were spending to do that, they had to come recharge their battery with you, because you were the source. But because they didn't want to admit that, they feel like they were the source. So when you cut that cord and they found out what was what, they're having a hard time coping, right? They're drained. Every day they wake up, they put on a mask like they're doing something, like they're carrying on with life like everybody else, like they're being productive in life like everybody else, like they're really having something happening. But behind the scenes, they could barely get up out of bed. They're in hiding. They don't even want their loved ones and the people that they're tight-knit with to see them in the predicament that they're in, all because they came up against you, and all because the people in their life are going to know they're going through what they're going through because it's consequences, because they chose to mock the chosen one. They chose to spend money doing spell work on the chosen one. They chose to lie and do group chats and try to do anything that they could do to sabotage the destiny of the chosen one, not understanding that God sets things out for a reason. And anybody who comes up against us is coming up against God. That's why they're so surprised that you're still alive after all these attacks that they've sent your way. They're starting to scratch their head and understand that you're not really of this earth. You're not really from this world. And you've already told them before, but they feel like everything's just touche. Everything's just, a quote or something, a magical quote or something like that. Not understanding that you don't speak just to speak. You've never spoke just to spoke. You've never been Mr. Small Talk. You've never just said something and not really stood on it when it comes down to God. But because that's how they feel, that's how they move, they're projecting that into you and onto you, because they don't believe in their dreams. They don't believe in their destiny. They don't believe in their relationship with God. They want to project that onto you through betrayal, through negativity, through dangling things in front of your face like you truly need it when it's really nothing to a boss. It's really nothing to a king. It's really nothing to a queen. You have overcame these obstacles, sis. You have overcame these haters, bro. There's no weapon that formed against you that's ever going to prosper. Everything that they're doing, they're wasting their time, and your cutoff game is strong, right? It has people really just perplexed of how you can have polar opposites and you're very balanced, right? You could be super duper close to a person. It's all good. Everything's cool. But as soon as you start to see those signs, you don't need an explanation for it. They can dip, right? It'll have people really asking if you really cared about them in the first place, because your cutoff game is so strong when it comes down to your relationship with God, when it comes down to you trusting your gut, trusting your instinct, because every time you've went against it, what has happened, right? When it comes down to your dreams, your success, anything that you set out to do, you're not going to let a hater get in between, and you're not going to let people dangle relationships in front of you or dangle closure in front of you to have as a door or a back door back into your life. You're cutting off all the back doors. You're cutting off all that. You don't need no closure. Closure is for weak people. You feel like you're going to get closure in every situation? No, fuck the closure. We're moving on. And they're perplexed by that because they need closure. They're too weak to think like that, right? But you're not. So keep pushing, keep moving. Know that they're ashamed. Don't be afraid to hop down in that comment section and say they're ashamed for what they done because they know they were wrong in Jesus' mighty name. And we're going to keep this thing pushing. Make sure you guys like this thing up, share this thing up, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell button so we keep in the loop every time we drop. And I'll catch you on the next one.